Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. This is Crime Talk, and my name is Scott Reich. Thanks for watching. Okay, let's get to the docket today. First, a closed hearing in the Lori Vallow matter. And oh, by the way, today would be J.J. Vallow's 10th birthday. The circus continues in Heard v. Depp and Depp v. Heard. And then we have Josh Duggar, rhymes with hugger. He got sentenced today. And then finally, our dumb criminal of the day. Let's talk about it. All right, aficionados, you know the drill. Subscribe if you have not. Like the video if you do. Leave me a comment and make sure you hit that little bell so you receive notifications of when we go live or put up new content. And as always, you can listen to us on any of your favorite podcasting apps. If you can't find us, just type in Crime Talk. That'll do it. Please join us tonight, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, right here on YouTube, maybe Facebook. We'll see how that works out. You know the drill. Support the sponsors that support us. Everybody needs a background subscription service. You should get one today. Please go to crimetalksearch.com, sign up for a background subscription service. You'll be happy you did. If there's anyone out there you were ever curious about what was in their background, now is the time to do it. If you're going to get involved with somebody, now is the time to do it. When you go to crimetalksearch.com, you put in the name, literally millions of public records are searched and a report is generated. And it's going to give you a report. If they have multiple social media accounts, you're going to find it. If they have multiple phone numbers, multiple email addresses, it's going to be found. And more importantly, you're going to get information regarding criminal history. Hopefully the person you're searching has none whatsoever. But if it's there, it's going to be found. You're going to get everything you'd want to know, whether you're going into business or whether you're going into a personal relationship. You're going to be able to find out the information you want to know. So go to crimetalksearch.com, sign up today. You'll be happy you did. All right, as noted, ladies and gentlemen, there was a hearing in the Lori Vallow matter today. It was sealed. Now, as you've noticed throughout these proceedings, if it's a hearing generally about scheduling or some sort of legal matter, well, it's usually been open to the public. When it's something of privacy nature or something that the district attorney doesn't want to reveal as it relates to the grand jury, it's been sealed, or if it's related to one's mental health status. The hearing has, in fact, been closed. If we get any news as to what took place, we'll let you know. But it's also worth noting that today is J.J. Vallow's 10th birthday. But unfortunately, he did not make it there because obviously the allegations are that he murdered by his mother, Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell, maybe Alex Cox. We'll see how that all shakes out. But it just shows you how quickly time goes by, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? All right, the next circus up to talk about. That's right, Depp v. Heard, Heard v. Depp, because they're suing each other. They're counterclaim suing each other, and the circus continues. And I'm just telling you, as an attorney, this is a circus. This was at most a 10-day trial, now spread over 6 weeks. I blame the judge for allowing this to get to the point where it is. Well, today, Kate Moss told the jury in her testimony that Johnny Depp never pushed her down the stairs during their relationship back in the mid-90s. Now, Ms. Moss appeared via video, and she testified that she fell down the stairs during a rainstorm at the Golden Eye Luxury Resort in Jamaica when she left the room, and that Johnny Depp actually came to her rescue, carried her back up, and helped get medical aid. As you may recall, Ms. Heard testified that she had heard something from Ms. Moss about being pushed down the stairs. It came out. It was completely hearsay, but she had to slip it in, and that's how mistrials are caused. But the court said, fine, you open the door. And remember, Ms. Heard's attorney has fought to keep everything out as it related to Ms. Moss, but Ms. Heard just couldn't help herself, had to let the jury know, and now it looks like, guess what? I know you may be saying to yourself, I can't believe it. Maybe Ms. Heard is not being completely truthful. I know. Can you believe it? But that's ultimately for the jury to decide. Now, I did speak with someone the other day, and they said, well, if Ms. Heard, they think she's lying about one thing, they should just disregard her entire testimony. Well, guess what? The jury can do that, or they can believe everything she says, or believe some of it, part of it, or like I said, none of it at all. So we'll actually see what takes place. Anyway, then Johnny Depp gets back up and testifies that he is the one that got hit by Miss Heard on their honeymoon. And, let's face it, if there's allegations of domestic abuse by either side on the honeymoon, things are not off to a good start. And so Mr. Depp testified that he, in fact, was the victim. And as some people described it, as Depp mumbled through his testimony today. Depp also addressed claims that he one time took 8 to 10 MDMA pills. That's also known as ecstasy. But he says he didn't do that because had he done that, he'd be dead. Okay, whether it's 8, 10, or just a bunch, that's where people get mixed up in testimony. They try to nitpick every little thing. That's their recollection. That's their best as they recall what took place. It seemed like 8 to 10. Well, maybe it was 3 to 4. Okay, it doesn't mean he didn't take them. It just means it doesn't mean that they're necessarily lying about the overall picture. And that goes for both sides. Well, we'll just leave it at that. Does it really matter? Because everyone's already made up their mind about this case. So I'm not even sure why we're talking about it, but maybe we'll talk about it a little more tonight. And then next we have the Josh Duggar case. Rhymes with hugger. That's how we all remember that it's not Josh Duggar. That's right. Well, guess what? He's been sentenced to 12 years, 12 and a half years for downloading and possessing inappropriate images of minors. Now, Mr. Duggar, he's 34, and he's been in custody since his federal jury trial in Fayetteville, Arkansas didn't go his way, where he was found guilty. Now, prosecutors say the father of 7, that's right, 7 children, used the desktop computer at his car dealership to search the dark web for the worst of the worst inappropriate images of children. Duggar had allegedly, and the jury concluded, that he had downloaded over 600 images of children being abused, some as young as 7 years old. And Duggar's wife, Anna, as well as his father, Jim Bob, were among the family members in attendance at the courthouse there in Fayetteville, Arkansas today. Duggar's mom, Michelle, and wife Anna both wrote letters to the judge pleading for leniency. And I've read those letters. They were some of the worst mitigation letters I've ever seen. Maybe I will pull those and we can talk about those tonight and simply say what not to say when you're writing a mitigation letter, that he's like a really good guy and he's clean. Well, charges did in fact merge. So the judge basically sentenced on the most serious charge, which was appropriate. The prosecutors asked for 20 years. The defense asked for 5 years, and he got 12 and a half. Now, I'm going to have Frank roll that video because remember, we went through the analysis of what I thought Mr. Duggar would receive for sentencing. If he goes to trial and he were to lose, his guideline sentencing range would start at 108 months, right? What is that? 12 times 9, 108, right? About 9 years to 135. You can do the math, about 10 and a half. It can also go as high as 235 months, which is the maximum. That is how Josh Duggar is going to be advised by his attorneys as to whether he goes to trial or enters a plea. And if he goes to trial, remember, all of a sudden now he's at 12 years and he can always be up to 20. I think I was the closest. I was closer than the prosecution or the defense. That's why if you want real analysis as to what's really going to take place in a criminal case, this apparently is the best source of information, not a bunch of speculation for sure. And finally, our dumb criminal of the day. So neighbors in Brevard County, Florida, called 911 after witnessing an explosion of a mailbox on their street. Now, the police report said the explosion bent the street sign next to the mailbox and sent fragments of the mailbox some 50 feet away from its original location. Neighbors said that Peter J. Dusick, who reportedly managed lawn care for some neighbors in the neighborhood, believed he was owed money from the previous homeowners, though the quality of his work was questioned, according to the police report. Well, Another neighbor said they have surveillance video of Mr. Dusek stopping by the house to collect money a day earlier, then stopping at the mailbox, which later blew up. Mr. Dusek was booked into the jail on several charges, including making or possessing a destructive device, possession of a destructive device to cause bodily harm, and aggravated assault. Now, the dumb criminal of the day, Mr. Dusek, he's not there because he's blowing stuff up. Okay, come on. Who hasn't wanted to blow up a mailbox every now and then, right? Who didn't do it as a kid, right? Putting the M60 into the mailbox. We've all done it. We've all been there. But times have changed, Mr. Dusek. This is not 35, 40 years ago. There's Ring doorbells on every neighborhood house these days. What are you thinking? And guess what? Even if you haven't been paid, you can't blow up other people's property because you haven't been paid. That's just ridiculous thinking. Mr. Dusek, if you are found guilty, I hope that they give you some cognitive thinking classes, some good decision-making classes to make. I don't get paid. What's the appropriate remedy? Not blow up other people's things. Just saying, Mr. Dusek. All right. Please join us tonight. We've got Lori Vallow. We'll talk about old Josh Duggar. We'll probably talk Depp v. Heard and anything else that you all would like to talk about. Please join us 6 p.m. Mountain Time. We'll see you then. Have a good night. We'll see ya.